With some people, silence feels safe. With others, it feels like a wall. I used to think not saying the wrong thing was more important than saying anything at all, but sometimes that's what messes everything up. You think you're protecting yourself, maybe even protecting them. But all it really does is make you look like you don't care. And caring? That's the part no one wants to mess up. That's the part we don't always know how to say right. Chapter 2, What I Wish Girls Knew. Max never really remembered his mom. There were pictures, some faded, others smiling too hard, tucked in the old photo album his dad kept on the top shelf of the living room bookcase, like something sacred and a little too fragile to touch. To Max, she wasn't a memory so much as a story other people told. A dream he'd inherited but couldn't feel for himself. And sometimes, when he tried to imagine her voice, it felt like tuning a radio to a station that almost came in, but never quite. The closest thing to a mom Max had was Emma's mom, Allison, their next-door neighbor. She'd lived there since before he was born. Allison and Max's mom, Martha, were best friends. It was Allison who Martha first confided in about her illness, even before she told Max's dad, Walter. And it was Allison who promised to look out for Max. When Max was 6 and tried to climb the backyard oak tree and fell, it was Allison who scooped him up and wrapped him in a blanket until Dad got home. She never tried to be his mom. Never said anything like that. But when Max forgot his lunch, she noticed and brought it by. When he broke his arm as a child, she sat with him while he complained about how itchy the cast was, distracting him with stories about his mom. And every year on his birthday, she baked him a lopsided chocolate cake with crooked candles and said, without fail, one day, you'll be too cool for these. But not today. Max never really said thank you. Not in any deep way. It was just how things were. Normal, in his world. Maybe that was why he thought of Emma, 3 years younger than him, as a little sister. Walter didn't usually get home until 6, so it was common for Max to hang around on Emma's back steps. Today, he was watching clouds drift over the hills like slow ships, the air tinged with the scent of cut grass. The steps were warm beneath him, still holding onto the sun. Emma sat beside him, swinging her legs and chattering about a science project involving baking soda and a very unfortunate action figure.
Are you even listening?
Emma asked, squinting up at him. Max blinked.
Yeah. Kinda. Sorry. I was thinking about Maddie. I said something dumb and now she's mad.
Emma tilted her head.
What did you say?
He hesitated. He did kind of like Maddie, more than he'd admit to Emma, anyway. And he could already hear his dad's voice in his head. If the girls don't find you interesting, they better find you funny.
I asked her, what percentage of your fake smile is real?
Emma stared at him like he'd just spoken fluent alien.
Wow. That's actually awful.
I thought it was funny. You know, like, she's such a good actress. I couldn't tell if she was being real or not. Brendan would have died laughing.
Emma made a face.
You're basing your sense of humor on Brendan? The same guy who calls me little yodel girl like it's the height of comedy? It wasn't funny the first time, and it's still not funny.
Brendan and Max had always had a similar sense of humor. Maybe that's why they clicked. Max believes the little yodel girl incident is behind Emma, so he now feels it's okay if he secretly chuckled every time Brendan called Emma that, though he'd never admit it. Not to her. There was something about the anticipation. He knew the line was coming, knew Emma would hate it, but maybe, just maybe, Brendan wouldn't say it this time. But Emma wasn't done.
You always do that.
She said.
Say something kind of mean and act like it's a joke. Just because you know what you meant doesn't mean she did.
That one landed. Max looked down at the steps. Emma swung her legs, the silence settling like dust between them. The screen door creaked open behind them. Allison leaned out, wiping her hands on a dish towel.
Lemonade, anyone?
Yes, please.
Emma chirped.
Mom, Max asked Maddie what percentage of her fake smile was real because he thought it would make her laugh, and now he wants to know how to fix it.
Max shot her a look, but Emma just sipped her lemonade like she hadn't just sold him out. Maybe she was still sore about the little yodel girl comment or was just sticking up for Maddie. Max narrowed his eyes, but Allison just raised an eyebrow and handed him a glass, cool with condensation.
What were you thinking, Max?
She asked, in that calm voice that made you tell the truth without meaning to. He sighed, already regretting he'd brought it up. But Allison was the closest thing he had to a mom, and he didn't want her thinking he was a jerk.
It was kind of a backhanded compliment, I guess. I didn't mean to call her fake. I just meant, she's so good at acting, sometimes it's hard to tell what's real. I thought that was a good thing.
Allison gave a soft laugh, just once, and shook her head.
Max, I'm guessing she didn't hear the compliment part.
Yeah. I'm starting to get that.
He stared into the lemonade, watching the ice swirl. Allison sat on the step above them, resting her glass on her knee.
But instead, she probably heard that you think she's fake.
Right.
He paused. Max wasn't sure why it always felt risky to say something sincere. Like you'd lose points.
I wanted to say something supportive about the play tryouts, but everything I came up with sounded kind of cheesy.
Sincerity isn't cheesy, Max.
She said gently.
It's just honest. And it's a lot braver than hiding behind a joke.
Max felt the sting of that, but not in a bad way. More like lemon in a paper cut, sharp, but maybe necessary. Allison stood, ruffled his hair once without looking, and disappeared back inside. The screen door whispered shut behind her. Max sat still, the glass sweating in his hands.
I feel like I need to defend myself here. Okay, guys really aren't that complicated. When we like someone, we tease. It's like a secret handshake, but dumber. If I'm messing with you, it means you matter. It means I see you, saying something real. That's harder, it's like standing out in the open without armor. Teasing lets you laugh first. Just in case they don't. That's what I wish girls knew. It's not mockery, it's a weird, sideways way of saying, you're one of us. Even if it comes out all wrong, maybe that part is on us.